Hello, this is your friendly nurse and health coach, and I'm coming to you today on processed foods and the danger of them. Just processed food, period, by itself. When they first process it, is they heat it up some, they chop it, they freeze it, they may dice it, and just juice it. They may do this, but it's not gonna harm it with them just physically doing this to the food. What hurting the processed food is when they go a little farther and do what we call ultra processed foods. This is when they do the additives ingredients, the preservatives, take some of the ingredients out that may give you fiber and the nutrients out of the food, and mix artificial dye, artificial flavoring, artificial coloring to it. Ultra processing food. That's the part that is dangerous about processed food. If they just cut an apple up and put it in the jar and put a little sodium in it, that's not going to harm you. But when they go a little farther, put the preservatives of it, and put a little dye in it, artificial flavoring in it, it is said that 60% of Americans are affected by ultra processed foods to give them an appetite. That's what they go a little farther doing with the food, other than just preparing it by chopping, cutting, freezing, heating it up some, juicing it. They go a little farther with adding stuff, taking out stuff, putting in stuff. No fiber to it at all. No nutritional value in it. That's when the danger come in, because it can leave room to inflammation, because it don't have the nutrients and the fibers in the food. And we want to talk about some of the danger of when they do go a little farther and with the ultra processing of the food. What do? They add more sodium. Your body is designed to get like 2,300 milligrams of sodium a day. So if you extend over that 2,300 milligrams of sodium a day, you open your body up to all kind of inflammation disease, chronic diseases, congestive heart failure, pulmonary edema, fluid to your brain, headaches. Anytime you got fluid to the brain, you got major headaches, migraine headaches. There's a lot of swelling in your tissues, and I see a lot of people now with swelling in their ankles and swelling in their feet. And they say, oh, I need to go back and just sit up for a while. Your feet is not normally supposed to be swelling in your ankles and your feet like that. I just asked someone the other day, they said, I can't stand to go far riding in the car, my feet swell up. And I asked them, well, do you eat a lot of salt a day? And he said, I put a little bit of salt in my food. Well, a lot of the packaging in the ultra processing part, the packaging by itself, they put in like 70% of sodium in that package. So you don't have a 30 more percent of sodium, you got 100% sodium in your body. So I told him he need to stop the salt and maybe put in some garlic powder, some other kind of salt substitute, and he will see the difference. And they also increasing the the sugar contents in the ultra processing part of the food. They're increasing the sugar to over the amount that's recommended. For a man, 38 grams a day. For a woman, 25 grams a day. And it's like 4 times that much of sugar in the processed foods. So this open you up to diabetes, obesity, because that sugar don't have nowhere to go but turn into fat, extra fat. And the oils, as I told you on a previous video, they have those heat up the ultra processing. They turn the heat up over the amount that it should be and pull out extra toxins, build up extra toxins in your food, which lead to inflammation diseases, chronic diseases, autoimmune diseases, where your good cells attack each other. You also opening the danger up to high blood pressure, because your heart gonna try to beat faster because it can't compensate for all the high sugar and also sodium in your body, trying to pull some fluid from somewhere, so your blood pressure is up. And anytime you see your ankles swelling and just keep swelling, you better guarantee that it's some damage been done to your heart in some way or another by something that you've taken in, or you're not getting enough rest. And it's mostly is a extra sodium content and extra sugar contents. Remember that blood pressure and the sugar almost work hand in hand. If your sugar up, your blood pressure usually gonna be up. If your blood pressure up, your sugar most likely gonna be up. And you got lack of nutritional value and a lack of fiber in ultra processed foods from them doing all the additives to your food, from all the artificial ingredients being put in there, from all the nutritional value taken out of the food. They extract from the food fats, they extract from the food some starches, added sugars they put in, hydrogenated oils and fats that you don't need, colors, artificial flavoring, all this in the process of them doing ultra processing of the food. So ultra processing of the food is the danger part of the processing food. Ultra processing is done to the sodas. You got extra dye in the sodas, extra sugar in the sodas, energy drinks, as we talked about before, the soups, all the packaged foods, 70% of sodium in this, all packaged foods, breakfast bars. They said, well, these breakfast bars say natural, but you always got to look at the sugar content and the salt content and the carbohydrate content. A lot of people look at the sugar content, oh, just a lot of small sugar, but how about the carbohydrate content of it and the salt content? Just because it say natural, don't say that it's healthy for your body at all. Look at the rest of the contents. Always read your packages. GI problems, gastrointestinal problems, heart disease problems. It says that 4 servings a day of ultra processed foods will cause you to have 62% mortality rate. 62% more of a chance of you dying early of 4 servings of processed food, ultra processed food a day. And every day there's 2 more servings of food is added. The rate goes up. That's over half of your life expectancy have been cut off of your life from ultra processed foods. You know, adding stuff to your foods, drinks, instant soups, breakfast bars, everything in the middle of the store mostly. Now they're getting smart with it and putting stuff back there in the back by the milk and all, and making it look healthy just because it's back there by the dairy products or whatever. So you got to always look at your package, look at your ingredients, read your ingredients on your foods. The shorter the ingredients, the better the food. The first 3 ingredients will tell you everything about the food and how much it can be good to you or bad to you. So they want a design for your appetite to be better, for you to come back for some more. But that MSG in it make you want to come back for some more of it. It increases your appetite. It messes with your brain and causes cell death in your brain. So you have to be very careful and read your packaging. The FDL do not have enough manpower, nor they have enough funding to check every product out before it be put on the market. They can't possibly check every product out. So you have to look for yourself and read the ingredients. And most of the time they're not going to tell you how much the ingredients that they have put in there. They're just going to tell you what ingredients they put in there, not how much. It's not as much as what they put in there as how much of what they put in there. You have to look at both of them to determine, hey, is this all right? Is this all right? They also got something called GRAS that FDA passed like in 1997. And GRAS permitted them to put salt, sugar, and vinegar in products, but it don't say how much that they have put in the products. So that's the danger of ultra processing food that is out of its original state. So you have to look real careful when you buy food that's not in their original state. And people wonder, why are they sick with this? Why are they sick with this? Why are they sick with this? The more ingredients, the worse that product is. Okay. Another additive that they add to the product, to the food supply, is called titanium dioxide. Titanium dioxide affects your DNA in your body and cause your DNA level to increase. And it also is very toxic and causes cancer. Titanium oxide. And that's in gum, candy, and it's in coffee creamers. So watch your gum that you're chewing, the candy, and the coffee creamers. It's better, they say, if you can drink the coffee black, because the more you put the creamers and the sugars in, it's going to decrease the value of what that coffee can do for you. And coffee is said to have a cup a day of coffee, 1 cup a day of coffee now, can help your heart. But when you start putting the cream and the sugar in it, you start adding to it, you decrease the value. And that's what that ultra processing all about, is decreasing the value of the food. Just processing it by itself, dicing, cutting, just warming it up, freezing it, chopping it, that's not hurting it. But when they go to ultra processing, when they add and subtracting from the food, and taking stuff out the food, and making it look good by dyeing it, and appearance look good, and the sugar and the salt, and that's ultra processing, and that's the danger of processed food. So you got the gum, candy, and the coffee creamers. That's got the titanium dioxide, and they banned it from Europe. Europe don't use it no more, but a lot of more countries do, including the United States, because it's very cancerous effect, and that's why Europe stopped using it. Okay, so it'll damage your DNA. Another chemicals that is in ultra processed foods, when they finish to start that doing that, all that adding and subtracting from the foods, they call brominated vegetable oil, BVO. There's no such thing as vegetable oil. The soybean is the closest to what's in oil that can label it vegetable. But this is something called brominated vegetable oil, and it is in a lot of Mountain Dew. I know a girl not too long ago passed away, and she was eating a lot of Mountain Dew, and she already had major problems. And her daughter mentioned to me, said, well, she drank a lot of Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew is in sports drinks. This brominated vegetable oil, BVO. You see something said BVO, run from it. Don't get it. It'll cause death to you. It causes memory loss. You look around, your memory loss, and you say, wow, I don't have my memory like I used to. I can remember things like I used to. It's in sports drinks, the Mountain Dew. And it also causes skin conditions, which is very, very toxic. This brominated vegetable oil, BVO. It'll cause skin problems, and you start breaking out. You wonder, why am I breaking out? It's in Mountain Dew. It causes skin conditions, nerve problems, and 2 liters a day. They said what can be very, very detrimental to you. 2 liters of Mountain Dew a day. And some people would sit up there when it's hot weather and just keep drinking and keep drinking and keep drinking Mountain Dew. They love Mountain Dew. Mountain Dew, one of the worst sodas there are. Okay, so that brominated, and also when they doing this ultra processing, they put something called red dye. Red dye 40. Red dye 40 is like a food dye, but it's synthetic. It's man-made food dye, and it's in fruit punch. That's why you see that fruit punch is red, and it's in candies, Twisters candies. A lot of children like Twisters candies, and juices, and it looks very appealing to you. But red dye can be very cancerous and very toxic to the body, called inflammation to the body. So look for that red dye 40. Another toxic chemical that have put, when they ultra process the food, they put in is Carrageenan. It's called Carrageenan, and it's used to thicken, have a thick and good consistency to the food, so it'll feel better when you touch the food. And they use it in milk too. They have the milk, thicken the milk, and make it more creamer. You see, the milk got that creamer shape to it, but it's carcinogenic. It's cancerous. It also called irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, to the gut, bad on the gut. and because it mixes with the stomach acids and cause you to have terrible problems with your stomach. You may get constipated one moment, you may have diarrhea one moment, and you're wondering what's happening. They put it in the milk for the milk to be creamy looking. Okay, but it is cancer causing, carcinogenic. It's called carrageenan, C-A-R-R-A-G-E-E-N-A-N, carcinogen. Very toxic to the body. You got to know what to look for when you shopping around. These are ultra processed foods that have been altered from their natural state. You also got the high fructose. You know that's danger. When you see high fructose, run from it. Don't get that product. It may say high fructose, or it may say high fructose corn syrup, which is HFCS. HFCS you may see on there. Run from it. It's used as a sweetener in ketchup. It's used in Ritz crackers. It's used in Aunt Mama pancakes and the Aunt Mama syrup. It's cheaper and it's sweeter. So they use these products because they're cheaper and they're sweeter. So they're going to put more of these additives in your food to make it taste good so you can go buy some more of them. But the problem also, it increases your appetite, the high fructose. So you're going to eventually be obesity. Because remember, any starch or sugar going right to your stomach area first. And the bigger your waistline is, the more likely you're going to have inflammation and you're going to have some kind of sickness going on eventually. And also the fructose makes up 40%. 40% of every sweetener in the United States. High fructose is involved with 40% of all sweeteners in the United States. They are using this high fructose. My. It's terrible. Highly suitable. And that's why so many people got diabetes problems, obesity problems. Another additive that they put in the ultra processing of the food is sodium nitrate. They put it in cured meat. You say, I'm going to get this cured meat here. I need this cured meat. Cured meat is bad for you. You might as well get the regular meat. When it's cured, it's not had all kind of sodium nitrate and all other kind of chemicals added to it that are cancerous. Beef jerky, ham, bacon, all these are out of the original state. They have been cured meat, luncheon meat. This is ultra processed food. Normally, you were using meat to protect you against bacteria, to keep meat freshener, this sodium nitrate. Normally, it's to keep the meat fresher. Sodium will keep it longer, and it's found in the soil of plants. Sodium nitrate is, but in high doses, it's causing cancer, and they are putting high doses of sodium nitrate in its food. It's called colorectal cancer. You got CDC says Central Disease Control have said that safe dose for sodium nitrate should be 3 0.7 milligrams per kilo body weight, which is like 0.25 grams of sodium a day, will give 150 pounds onto a person. Okay, about 150 pounds per person. They can have about 0.25 milligrams of sodium a day. And I told you 2,400 milligrams a day is all the sodium that we can take as we're gonna start having problems in our body. So sodium nitrate is way over the limit of sodium nitrate that's put into people food as they ultra process this food. So that's another bad thing that they are doing for the ultra processed food. They're also increasing over completely ultra processing artificial dyes for their color, especially the candies and all, for the children to be appealing to how they look, so that they can buy more and more of the candy. And this is causing a lot of children to have attention deficit problems, hypersensitivity. The more sugar, the more high sensitivity. The more of these artificial dyes, the more hypersensitive. We got a lot of children in school that are very hyper. They can't stay in one place for too long. And you wonder why? Because it's in the dyes and the candies. You also got your ultra pasteurization, what they call food. The food that have been pasteurized for years. It started out way in Egypt over there, pasteurizing food, killing the bacteria out of food. But high heat, when they put the high heat on it, it kills bad and good bacteria at the same time out of food. So they killing the bad and the good bacteria out of food. Well, ain't nothing left in the food. There's no calorie. There's no kind of nutritional value at all left in the food after they kill the bad and the good out of the food. So high heat will easily kill the good and the bad. And they see they try to make the food last longer too. That meat don't will last over 2 weeks. They make it last like 3 months with the high heat, but there's no nutritional value to it. They don't kill all the nutritional value to it. So that's ultra processing of the food. Ultra processing, adding high heating, preservatives, extra ingredients, extra chemicals, more toxic chemicals being produced when they're high heating. Also, the enzymes are being changed in the food. That's for to help your stomach process your food. You don't have those enzymes anymore. They have destroyed the enzymes in the ultra processing, and that's why a lot of people got a lot of stomach problems, because you're eating a lot of ultra processed foods that got all these preservatives, chemicals, ingredients in it, and it messed up your stomach wall, and don't have any fiber in it. You give it in the buck, and you constipate it all the time. No nutritional value at all. Refined wheat, bleached. They bleached out all the good stuff out of the white rice, white bread, pastas. They bleached all the stuff out. So there's no fiber, no nutritional value to it. And it causes you to be more hungry, cause you might be lethargic. When you eat a lot of ultra processed food and you wonder what's happening, I don't have much energy. I see a lot of people always want something for energy all the time. It takes your energy when you eat these ultra processed foods because of the toxins that's in it. You got the leaky gut, a lot of problems of moving your bowel, a lot of toxic problems, a lot of hormone problems. Harmful bacteria that have been built up in the food that lead to inflammation. And inflammation leads to infection. Infection leads to cancer. Now you can go right to inflammation to cancer. So they have stripped, by ultra processing, they have stripped away all the nutritional values of the food, all the fiber out of the food, and you don't have nothing left but just the substance itself and everything that don't belong in the food from the beginning, artificial stuff. And man, you can gain like 2 pounds a week from these ultra processed foods. 2 pounds a week will be 8 pounds a month easily. It's according to your lifestyle, whether you exercising a lot, you moving around a lot, or just sitting up and just eating a bunch of chips and snacks and all and watching TV. It's according to your daily walk. What are you doing in your daily lifestyle? How much of these sodium, how much of this sugars and these additives and ingredients going to affect your body, and how fast they're going to affect it. The more you're going to be still, you're not exercising, you're not moving around, get some of those toxins out of your body, the more it's going to accumulate in diabetes, obesity, cancer, and all kinds of sicknesses. So you got to keep moving, people. Our body is designed to move. If you don't never move, you're not going to release certain enzymes from your brain that extend your life. You got to drink more water. It help wash all these toxins and chemicals out. Because remember, there's no protein in them a lot when they go through the ultra processing stage. No protein in them at all. And they just want to make it taste good to you, make it appeal to look good, make you so you can eat more, and motivate you, your brains, to feel good, and make you feel good. Okay? Like a car. If you get the best fuel in your car, you use that best fuel in your car, hey, it'll work better. But if you use a bad fuel in your car, it's not going to work as good. Same thing with our body. So you got the dangers of all these ultra processed foods. We're going to be coming back with more on processed foods. We love you. We want you to have a healthy and long life.